Hi, Letitia. How are you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Oh, very good. Just honored to talk to you about Aisha. Is it Aisha or Aisha?
Aisha.
Aisha. Let me ask you, the story is you play Aisha, a Nigerian immigrant who is fighting to gain legal immigration status in Ireland. Just curious, how did you find the role and what attracted you to the role?
I found the role via um reading the script. I knew they were having auditions, read the script, found a way to the director, told him I loved it, and you know, secured the part. So that was the first job. And then getting into the role, it was a case of, studying the script. He worked on it for a long time and doing research, picking up on the research that he also did too, and just tapping into that world, just
Mhm.
understanding what was happening, understanding what Aisha has experienced, because her story is a combination of like different people's stories too. Um, and then just focusing on telling the truth. That
Mhm.
was like the person for me.
How do you approach research on your end of it? I know the director gave you research, but in terms of how, what kind of basic research do you do, and then how do you create the character from there?
Well, you research about the system, the provision system, um, get myself educated in that sense. And then I luckily got to speak to people who have experienced the provision system and sit down and speak with them, whether over Zoom or when I went to Ireland, and just to tap in, hear their stories, find out how you know, they got through it,
Mhm.
the positives, the negatives of it all, just to get, clear understanding, and then apply that to my character. Um, and it was hard because my character doesn't have a lot of lines. She doesn't say a bunch all the time. Only a few scenes that she expresses herself a little bit more. So it's mostly internal dialogue. So I was just stocking up on information, really, just carrying that with me in each scene. Um, and again, just aiming for truth.
Yeah. You know, um, I, I can't help but, the immigration issue has been kind of, at least here in America, it's kind of getting to the point where we see it as portrayed in Aisha. Um, it has a lot. I guess the best way for me to say it is, I would say at least in the States here, the subject's quite controversial. But what was your kind of take on the whole issue? And and then also now that you're bringing it to America, what are kind of your insights in it as well?
Yeah, such an interesting time to bring this to America too. Not my intention, we filmed this so long ago, but it's just the timing of everything. Honestly, I try to understand everything just on a human level, just on a fair level, and seeing that what I love about this movie is that it just taps into someone's life and just letting you just spend time with her. And again, remember, like, this is we're piecing together Aisha's story with different stories as well, from real people's experiences and journeys. So what I love about it is like it's not trying to force anything, it's not trying to force you to pick a side or anything like that. It's just giving you like a reality into like the day-to-day life of someone that's going through the system. So I think for me, I just always understand things on a fair level, and just understanding that it's just it's just people trying to make it to the other side. They're just trying to better their lives, and that could be as controversial as people make it to be or not. But I just kind of like keep away from that and just kind of focus on what is someone's trying to make their life better. They're just trying to work to feed their families, and it may not be in the country that they love so much, and they do not want to leave their family behind, but they're just trying to find a better way to provide. And it comes in different ways. The provision system is a different
Hmm.
kind of reflection of that. So I don't know if I've answered your question as best as I could, but I feel
Yeah.
like for me,
Okay.
yeah, I tried to just we're all just trying to make it, man. We're all just trying to like be here together. And I feel like we can be harsh on each other so much, you know, and we can be really, really hard on each other. And I think we just need a bit more compassion.
Yeah, I mean, I think, this is kind of my family story 100 years ago coming to America, the that immigrant story. And it's, it's the reality is that we're people and we're just trying to
Yeah.
survive. And
Yeah.
um and it just I think what I kind of got out of the movie was the fact that um as people, you know it's us against kind of the system that's in place, and that puts us in this position. And I think that's the thing I got out of this, is to kind of step back and say, as much as the politics play into it, it's still people.
Yeah. I think we can get hung up on the politics of it all.
Hmm.
And again, I'm not as super educated in this area, so I won't pretend to be. But I feel like for me, what I loved about this project was just like tapping into like the humanity of it. Like, let's just take a look. Let's take a look at into
Hmm.
the life of someone that has experienced this. What are they facing? What are they doing? Like, how are they feeling? What are their desires on a human level, and her desire is just to be with her mom and just
Yeah.
to provide. That's it. She's not asking for anything extra. And I think people miss it. They miss it when they make it about other things too,
Mhm.
and they don't have compassion.
Yeah. Let me ask you one last question. Uh,
Oh man, this
yeah,
is
I
a bit in.
know. I know. You've got this amazing career for a very short career. You've been in a lot of interesting projects, and when I look at what you've done, I can't pin my nose on what you what you look for in terms of roles. What were kind of your dreams going into acting, in terms of the types of roles, and how you want to evolve as an actor
Mm.
over your career?
Mixture of a couple things and a couple ways I can answer that. But firstly, you've heard me say it before. If you haven't, welcome to Team LW's explanation of why she's an actress. I love purpose. I'm driven by purpose. I'm driven by meaning. I'm driven by my personality numbers are number three. Number threes are high achievers. So I'm always trying to find my place in the world, and I feel like acting, what I love about it, I loved and I still love about it, is just when I get my hands on a story that just means something, even if it's in the middle of, even if it's a fictional character or, whatever it is, as long as it has purpose and I can find it, I'm there. And then I think as I've been growing, and, my career so far is, I've been doing this for about 10 years. I think it's quite long, actually. It's not quite short, it's quite long, and it will be longer. But I think for me now, as I'm evolving a little bit more, I'm trying to find the truth and meaning, but with different worlds, if that makes sense. I'm trying to tap into like different things. But what you've seen so far on my my IMDb list, um, it's just me tapping into projects that have meaning and truth for my spirit, and then I'm intrigued by different worlds. So like Black Mirror is like a completely different world. It's kind of like thriller and kind of like it's a little bit on the edge, and then you have Black Panther, that's like sci-fi action, and you have something like Aisha, that's beautiful, stripped back, you know. you're super indie, your indie festival type movie. So if you track it, is I'm always trying to find something that has something to say. You know what I mean? Like, and it keeps me intrigued because I don't really want to do things that's a little bit boring or just ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. Well, thank you so much. And great
Thank
performance in
you.
Aisha. Yeah. And
Thank you. Good talking to you.
yeah, have a great day.
Thanks,
You
Alan.
too.